Wendy Nachtman is with us today. How are you doing?
I am wonderful, Toby. Thank you so much for having me today.
Now, can you just describe to us what exactly it is that you help people with?
Well, I help people who have no energy,
Mm,
really just poor nutrition and overall bad habits.
yeah,
People stay in the same situation for years. And, what we have to realize as individuals that, if it took us years to, if we're eating a lot of processed foods and we've been doing that for years, we just really have to have that trigger in our mindset to change it.
yeah,
And, so primarily that's what I'm doing. I help people through customizable three programs that I have. And basically what it is depending if you're more, if the person's more advanced and they're more of a go-getter, they know what they want to do and they really don't need the support or as much support, then I will give them the guidance for supplementation, nutritional supplementation. If,
yeah,
there's individuals out there that are more starting on their journey and they need a little bit more guidance and support and structure, then I would, customize a program for that. And then I also have a cleanse program that's a 30-day program that, we have we work together one-on-one through the 30 days. And it's a
mm,
collagen cleanse program. So it's all, like I said, it's all customizable. And I really put everyone through a interview process first
yeah,
because there's a lot of people that want help, but, then there's others that want the help and they want to do something about it,
mm.
and so basically that's it.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a range of stuff you do.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how did you first start to get interested in doing this? Was it your own personal experiences, or were you just kind of interested?
You know what? Yes, I worked in the automotive industry for 25 years and I built teams. I worked a lot of hours. I was doing 70-hour work weeks,
Wow.
eating a lot of processed foods. My nutrition, my health was really going in a wrong direction. And I knew that I needed to make a change.
Yeah.
So I left corporate America and I put myself through the program that I'm offering to people. I personally went through myself. Okay.
Oh.
And I also took some other individuals with me along the process. It was almost like an experimental program to really confirm that it can work. And, I don't want to offer something to individuals if, I've not one, gone through it myself.
Yeah.
And secondly, I need to know that the guidance that I'm offering, each individual has their own needs and, their own body concerns. And that's why I customize it individually. So I personally went through this.
Yeah.
I have now for just under a year. And the other two other individuals are the same thing. And once I knew that the programs would work, I've now launched those programs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to have a teacher in a way that's gone through the exact same experiences as you.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think that's important. If you're going to offer a program, I think it's really important that, that's how you're going to connect with all of your clients. You can really truly understand the support that they need. And, the other thing is really helping people to really understand it's a personal journey. And it's okay to make mistakes. We all go through different things in our lives and really go through that experience. And it's nice to know that you can go through that with an individual that's already been through that.
Yeah, absolutely. And why is it important to do something about our health? What are the consequences if we don't take your program?
Well, you're going to stay in the same situation that you're in.
Yeah.
If you're eating poor, you may, there's a lot of consequences to poor health. We start to develop other health conditions. We have no energy. We're tired all the time. We lose that motivation.
Yeah.
Take that a step further. We can't be with our loved ones. We tend to lose out on the things that are really most important to us. So there's so many contributing factors to poor health. And, a lot of our country and the world, look at all the obesity in our country.
Yeah.
And, the convenience of fast foods and processed foods, and it's great. I was one of them. I loved eating those processed foods, but the truth is I was developing poor gut health. And, there was a lot of other things in my life. I was tired. I wasn't doing the things that I wanted to do. So very important that people understand. And that's one of the things that I can offer is, helping people to understand, the consequences and, people can stay in their situation if they want. And that's actually why I like to put people through an interviewing process, because, there is people that are in their situation, but, they really don't mind staying in that situation. And that's okay, because, the program isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
But then you do have those individuals that, they're like, I know that I need to make a change and I'm ready. And so that's the difference.
Yeah. And do you feel it's kind of important as well for more stuff to be done to try and prevent all these fast food companies and other food companies from making their foods unhealthy? Because I guess you do a good job of helping people after they've become addicted to this stuff, but maybe more needs to be done at the root cause.
Absolutely. And I think, honestly, I think that situation, or we're never going to get away from the fast foods.
Yeah.
That's just reality. We live in a country that's fast paced. If we want tacos, there's 10 taco restaurants within a couple mile radius of, where we live.
Yeah.
And I get that, but we also need to understand, I think it's just the educational standpoint of, okay, this is what processed foods can do. We are a generation that ultimately lacks in nutrients in our body, because of those processed foods. They're prepared, not as, of a natural way of, the way we should eat with nutrients and vitamins. Think about all of the pesticides and chemicals that are in our foods, and again, it's just really educating people and helping them to know, hey, look, you can combat that for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you recommend to people who are finding themselves eating unhealthily? What foods should they try and start eating?
Well, you know what? Go back to the proteins. Here, lots of vegetables. I'm a firm believer on eating a ton of vegetables every day. Proteins. I love meat. Okay, but for me, you want to tend to go more towards the turkey breast, which I know some people might be like, no way, I'm not going with turkey. But chicken. You can go with your pork, a lot of fish. There's a lot of different, salmon and cod and whitefish and, things of that nature, and a lot of vegetables, salads. There's so many forms of vegetables out there. Instead of, you can even go with the white potatoes, but sweet potatoes are, you could cook, for example, ground turkey with sweet potatoes and, have a very delicious meal, and you're getting more nutrients and vitamins rather than, so those are the foods. And I will tell you, as part of my program, that is something that I do give to each individual, is a food list, to really help them to know, what foods they should be selecting every day. And it's not like a crazy diet, This is a life change. This is for people who really do want to experience a change in their life. It's absolutely not a quick fix program. And I do have nutritional supplements that I do implement into the program that are all filled with, it's all plant-based raw supplementation, and it works. So again, it's for people who, really know they want to make that change.
Yeah, and vegans will argue that their lifestyle is healthier than the average person, but they can't eat a lot of those foods that you mentioned. So what do you recommend for them?
Well, I think vegan, listen, it's a preference.
Yeah.
It really is. There's, and everybody's different. So I don't want to say that vegan is bad. It's not. I think as long as they're consulting with their nutritionist and doctors, to me, that's the most important, because truthfully, vegan is okay for some people, but it's really learning, each person is individually, so vegan for me wouldn't work, but, there could be people out there that really enjoy the vegan and have great results off it. But, again, it's very important that, like I said, nutrition, they're consulting with people that, do understand their bodies as well from a doctor or nutritionist or dietitian standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. And who do you recommend your programs for? Is there a particular person you have in your mind?
Well, I help men and women. Yeah. I tend to really have a heart for working with people that are, in entrepreneurship and running businesses that have, really individuals who just really are lacking in energy and really are having those types of, problems, but I've tended to work with people more in the business, industry that, they are putting in those 70-hour work weeks, and it's hard for them. And because I understand that, because I did come from that setting for many years.
Yeah, absolutely. And is there a place where you think people should start before they take your program, or can they come when they're absolutely addicted to food, or do you feel like they should have some sort of, practice of eating healthily?
I don't think so. I think it's, just having the mindset, I'm ready to make a change, and that's it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Because, you can always in your own mind think you need to do something else to be ready or try something, but, then you're almost putting a mental block in your own mind, There's never a better time than right now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my thought process.
And is it the same steps for everyone, or do some people have different needs and need to kind of do different diets or different exercise, etc.?
I think really the only difference between my programs is there's one program that primarily is more for an individual that, they already are eating good. They're, there's exercise and they know what foods to eat. So really what I'm doing is I'm telling them, okay, here's, I'm offering them guidance, through nutritional supplementation. And then I do ask, really every program I offer is a 90-day commitment because it's really important. It's not a quick fix program. It does take really 90 days to see results in a body.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can see them ahead of time. And then I have I do have another program that, again, is going to be more, giving them digital materials, helping them to some e-course digital downloadable materials that they can download in their home. Help them to understand what their habits are, where habits come from, and how we work towards changing those habits. So you're starting with the mindset, and then, also giving them digital information on nutrition, and it's just really educating and working with them, and then, giving them the guidance and support that they need.
Yeah.
So.
And how do people stick to it? Because I suppose, you're not keeping an eye on them 24/7. So I'm guessing if they are committed to it, then they're not gonna sneak some foods that they want.
Well, I think, one, going through the interview process, I am looking for those people that are making that commitment. Yeah. And the truth is, normally, Toby, majority of people that really make that commitment are going to make that commitment. They're putting an investment in themselves. You're going to slip. You're going to fall. I mean, you may have a day where, you're a chocolate lover and you had a bad day and you want, you want a chocolate, you want chocolate. It's going to happen, and that's okay. And that's one of the things that I really in my program let people know. It's okay. You're going to have those days.
Yeah. And if you have like a complete relapse, I suppose, do you recommend starting the course over from scratch, or can you kind of just pick up where you were?
You can pick up from where you were. Yeah. I mean, it's at that point you have a foundation, and sometimes people do relapse, they do fall into their own temptations, and that's okay.
Yeah. And you mentioned about the 90-day commitment. Is there any time frame that's sort of the average amount of time that somebody takes to see a big difference in themselves?
Well, there's people out there that can see results as little as 14 days.
Wow.
When you're making the changes, with your eating habits, and you start to incorporate exercise into that daily routine, you are going to see some results. But the reason I say it does take a 90-day commitment is the truth is it really takes our mindset to really make the switch.
Yeah.
It does take time. There, like I said, if those quick fixes, you get that immediate, results. And this program these programs, I should say, are not like that. So it's not for people who are really looking for that quick fix.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you can really see a major health change in yourself overnight.
Correct.
Yeah. And do you just recommend changes in your food, not what a lot of people might do and try and starve themselves or skip meals to try and lose weight and stuff?
Yes, I do not recommend skipping meals at all.
Yeah. I
mean, I think here at the end of the day, we just have to make better food choices. That's really all it is. The truth is, we're eating a plate full of vegetables. I mean, you can really have a nice plate full anyways, versus that processed foods that's a small little container. You're going to be filled, and you're getting more for your body, and a big, I don't recommend a huge plate, but if you understand what I'm saying, it's just making those food choices and definitely not starving our bodies. Yeah. I'm definitely don't believe in those low calorie diets. They're not healthy for you. Yeah. And, people do get results with those diets, but guess what? It's going to return.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, the mindset, you've got to switch. You got to have that switch over in your mindset.
Yeah. And it'll just make you hungry all the time, which will probably make you feel worse.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So do you like to get up to anything else in your spare time when you're not working on this?
I do. I love spending time with my family. I live on the East Coast, and so I love the outdoors. I love fishing, anything outdoors. Just spending time on the water, and again, family is very important to me. Yeah. Just love spending time with my family, my husband, and just really love. We came from the Chicago area.
Yeah.
So I tell you what a difference living on the East Coast, the weather, we don't have the weather to deal with anymore. Yeah. So, and I just love helping people, love helping out in the community. I think that's really important to me too. And basically that's it.
Yeah. Well, where are we able to find your services if we're interested in checking them out?
You can go to my website, which is www.wendynachtman.com, and that's www.wendynachtman.com. And all of my information is on that website. My appointments, I'm on Calendly.com, which is a calendar for appointments. And I always highly suggest, going by appointment. There's a 30-minute slot per each appointment, and that would be the best way to really get started.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show today. It's been great talking to you.
Toby, thank you. I so appreciate you allowing me on as a guest on your radio show.